Okay, hello everybody. I'm going to be demoing the next step of Tech Commander. So I'm just going to go ahead and run it so we don't have to see this anymore. So here we go. Okay, so let's start off. So when I first started this project, I made an initial video about basically what was going to be involved with the project, and my plan was to make several videos in between to highlight the different stages. However, I didn't really get around to doing that at all. And so this is basically the first video of anything actually working. And then in the last 2 months, I've actually accomplished quite a bit so far. So what I've done is I've run the commander version or the host version. So this is the version that would run on the computer of the person that would be controlling the other computers. So as you can see, there's these 8 boxes here, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are where our screens for our clients are going to be displayed. And then this box here will contain a number of buttons that will be able to do certain things while we're in this small mode. So I guess, okay, so the other thing I should point out, so you notice that these borders are red, so pay attention to those colors because some things are going to change. I'm not sure if we're going to keep this area black or add a border around it or you know, make it look nicer or whatnot, but there's definitely going to be more buttons in here. I just haven't really figured out exactly what those buttons are going to do and where they're going to line up and how it's going to look. So I'm going to go ahead over to my laptop here and I'm just going to connect one client and you can see how that works. Now I'm using one laptop here to connect multiple times, so when we start connecting multiple clients, what I'm actually doing is I'm connecting the same laptop just multiple times. So it's not exactly the same as having a bunch of different computers, but it still works pretty well to showcase basically what's going on. So I'm going to run the client. Okay, so there we go. So you may have noticed that the border actually turned blue. So blue tells us that there is a connected client to the server. So if it's red, there's no signal, right? No client. If it's blue, that means that we have a computer connected. Blue also means that we are not in control of that computer. We are only viewing its screen. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to position our mouse over it. So, you know, let's say I'm fixing a computer. There's just one connected to me right now. So I'm going to go over and we're going to see what happens. So instantly, the screen automatically grows to a particular predetermined size. The size is a calculation based on the screen resolution of the host. So when we are dealing with multiple resolutions, it should scale appropriately. However, I'm not going to recommend running this on any resolution lower than 1080, just because then you're not going to see a whole lot on a small screen. I'm actually hoping to try and demo the software on an ultra-wide monitor, and just so that we can probably layer in maybe 3 or 6 more clients for having a larger screen. So right now, basically all we're seeing is the screen of the other computer. Now, we don't see the mouse because the mouse is not capturable using the methods I'm using. So you couldn't exactly use it to see, you know, what the person is doing per se as far as moving the mouse around. However, if I highlight a file, if you look here, right up here, I just position my mouse over that particular file. I'm just going to go ahead and move something on the laptop, and what we're going to see is we're going to see that happening. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this icon here, and so in a sense you can kind of watch what's going on here. The only thing you can't see again is the mouse, because the mouse is not actually part of the screen. So, you know, when you do a screenshot, for example, you don't actually capture the mouse. Now, for the security mode, I am going to look into being able to actually capture the mouse as well. Should be relatively easy. It's just a matter of grabbing the mouse coordinates and then literally drawing a picture of a mouse on the screen in regular intervals. So, not a big deal. So that's one client connected. So yeah, like I said, we are viewing this in real time. The file size that is being transferred over every 100 milliseconds, so 10 times in a second. is, let me see if I can just grab a, oh, it's 140 kilobytes, so not very big at all. So we're basically transferring, about a meg per second, which is pretty reasonable considering we're on a gigabit network that should be capable of about 120 megabytes per second. So serving 8 clients or even up to 16 on a larger screen should not be an issue at all. The JPEG compression that's being used is pretty efficient, and still, I mean, you can tell the quality is not great, but it's enough that you can kind of see what's going on. I mean, this is not meant to be you're going to be working in this window a lot. It's more for, oh, what do I see over there? Oh yeah, okay, this is going on. Now, having said that, watch what happens when I press the control key. Oh, what happened? Oh, green border. What does that mean? Oh, what's going on here? So green mode, green border means control mode. So what I'm actually in control of the screen. So now I can actually move my own stuff around, and I can minimize this window, and this is showing some output that won't actually be in the live version, but it's showing mouse moving coordinates, and wherever my mouse is, that's where it is. Anytime I click, it does that. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to go and open WordPad. Open WordPad. Okay, so it actually opened a full screen. We're just going to do that. And then we're going to go, this is a remote desktop WordPad demo. And again, not really the best environment to be typing in, but you can see that my shifting works here for lowercase, uppercase, caps lock. Does caps lock work? Yes, caps lock works. We can send various numbers. I don't know if we can capture F1 keys. Oh, look at that, we can. That I did not know it could do that, but I guess it makes sense. So yeah, so we can drag now. So basically what happened there is I actually went outside the frame, and when I did that, and I'm gonna need to tweak that a little bit. As soon as you go outside the panel, so the panel is the actual screen itself, it shrinks the window and switches back into view mode. So now you notice the border went blue. I'm no longer in control, so I can press buttons. Oh, it just put me into, well, that's very strange. I'm not actually in control mode, but anytime I press a key, the screen flashes and the border goes green. Huh. Oh, I just think I found a bug. Interesting. And yet I can still activate control mode, and then it goes back to normal. But then, look at that. Well, that's funny. Okay, so minor little bug there. Not a big deal. So let's go ahead. I'm going to connect this laptop another 4 times. And actually, I'm going to do that from here. We're not going to save that. Where are we? Run 2, run 4. So instantly, boom, 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 boom. I don't think you can hear it, but the fan on the laptop is now going crazy. When I connect 8 clients, the laptop will stay on for about 10 or 15 minutes and then actually shut down from overheating because it just can't handle all that processing power. But anyway, not a big deal. So let's say these were 5 individual computers. I want to see what's going on that one. Okay, not a big deal. What's going on that one? Oh, looks like, whoops. Okay, another interesting little bug, going from window to window without actually touching any gray. Anyway, so yeah, okay, that one looks cool. Let's go to this computer. Oh, I have to click here, click there. And you can kind of see, yeah, what's going on here. So, pretty neat. Let's see what happens when you do that again. It's just that one. Oh, now we've done it. Yeah, why don't we do that? Oh, control mode. Switch to Windows Basic. Yeah, that might actually be even a little bit quicker. So yeah, interesting little problem when you go from one window to the next. Sometimes it just doesn't. See, what happened here is the panel resized, but the frame actually didn't have a chance to resize, so we're seeing it in the bigger mode, but the window didn't get any bigger. Interesting. Well, we'll see if we're able to fix that. So this is all cool. Yeah, bigger windows, but you know, it's hard. Some people like to work in a bigger screen. Of course, if you want to do any typing or see anything that's going on, yeah, you can't really do that. So then I guess what we're going to do is we're going to, so now this is important. We have to not be in control mode for this to work. Because if I'm in control mode and I click, I'm actually sending my clicks over. So we don't want to do what we're about to do while we're in control mode, because that would cause some complications. So we're going to go out of control mode, then we're going to go back to this one here, and now we're going to double click. Boom! And now we're in full screen mode. So now we can see everything a lot better. You know, the quality still isn't fantastic, but it's enough to work with. I mean, we're not going to be doing this to play games or doing anything really graphically intense. It's to, you know, service computers, do some remote stuff. Maybe, you know, you might want to use it for training, showing somebody how to do stuff. Of course, the security. Not sure what happened there. I lost the screen. I think maybe I went off screen. Yeah, that's interesting. What if I go down here? Not really sure what happened there, unless maybe I just lost the video feed for a second there. Go all the way down? No, it wasn't that. Okay, I'll have to investigate that a little bit more, because that's slightly annoying. So anyway, so now we can go on the internet, we can search the internet. Searching the internet on the internet. And now we can actually see stuff, and you know, it's fairly clear. You can read it, you can type. Might want to look at maybe upping the quality of the picture while we're in full screen mode, and maybe what we would probably want to do is, while we do that, suspend the other panels from updating, because there's really no point for them updating now because we can't see them, and then that would help to save on bandwidth, assuming that's an issue at all. So I'll look into increasing the quality for full screen mode, and then seeing if we need to suspend the updating of the other ones. We may even not need to, because so far it seems to be pretty efficient as far as bandwidth is concerned. So now we're full screen, but now we're done. What do we want to do? We want to get out of here. Help! What do I do? There's no. I guess I could. You know, if I told this computer to shut down. It would disconnect. I don't really want to do that because the laptop's not very fast. If I were to shut down, basically what would happen, and I'll show you that out at the end. Basically, the window would close, it would minimize, and we'd be back to the starting screen. But anyway, that's not what I'm trying to get to. So let's just show you the other thing that I've been working on, which is this. Oh, which is what? Which is this? What? Which is what? Which is this? So right up here, this is what I call the commander ribbon. So if you're familiar with remote desktop in Windows, at the top there's kind of this little arrow thing, and when you click it, it allows you to log off, restart, a couple of other options. So in the end, this is going to be full of options. Some of them are going to be pull-down menus, some of them are going to be buttons, radio buttons, regular buttons, whatever. They're going to be able to do a multitude of things. So right now we can exit full screen. Oh, look at that! Now we're exiting full screen. For some reason the border stayed up there. Actually, that's not supposed to happen. Exit full screen. Anyway. Yeah, interesting. We can disconnect the client, or we can exit the application. So clicking this, exit application, it just closes the whole thing right away, and then the client software will try to reconnect over and over and over and over and over again. What we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the client and see what that does. No signal on screen 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So the client recognized that I sent a disconnect signal, and what happened is it closed itself. Now I had to differentiate that between a loss of connection, because during a loss of connection we don't want it just to disconnect and that's it. We want it to actually try to come back. But then the issue that I ran into is I disconnect the client, it would go, oh no, I'm disconnected, and it would try to reconnect again. Well, that's a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and just close the application and then run it again, and we're going to see basically what's going to happen. So boom, there's Claire when she was little eating Diego, and then we're going to run this again. And then, oh, boom, boom, everyone just reconnected. Now you will notice they connected in 0, 1, 2, and 3 rather than 0, 1, 2, and 5. And it just, that's the way it works. The clients will connect to the first available slot. So in the instance where, say, just 3 or just 5 got disconnected and there was no slot in 4, when it came back it would have popped itself into 4. There might be a way for me to have them request a slot. The issue with that, of course, is that let's say 3 gets disconnected and then 5 gets disconnected. Now what happens when 2 more clients connect and then 5 wants to come back and it says I want 5, and the program says, well, you can't have 5. I guess the program could say, what's your preferred screen, and if you don't have one then you can have the next available one, and if you do have one we'll try and give it to you if you can. That would probably make things better, I think, for somebody, so that when they do lose a client and it comes back, it's in the same screen that it was before. That would definitely help on the confusion. So that's going to be something else I'm going to have to look into for sure. So let's go back here, full screen. So I just want to see if that disconnect. Okay, so exit full screen. Okay, so that did exactly what it was supposed to do. Exit full screen. Yeah. Now let's go to this one. Now we're going to disconnect this client. Okay, so it didn't keep the ribbon up top that time. Yeah, not really sure why it did that. It's interesting. So that's about it. Obviously, like I said, this is going to be full of stuff at the end. Might have to change the background color because it kind of blends in with Chrome there. How does it look? Yeah, it still kind of looks like it's part of the computer, and it's supposed to be kind of popping out. So might have to maybe give it maybe a thicker border, different background color. Not something too crazy, but something that kind of pops out. Maybe we can give it a shadow or some kind of feature there. So that's basically it so far. I can't really show you this, but if I try to connect more than 8 clients, the 9th or other client that tries to connect will simply say that there's too many clients connected, and then it disconnects and closes. So there isn't an option yet for it to retry. I will put something in the client that'll have the option of, do you want to retry, or it might be automatic. Because what we might want to do is tell a client that, okay, we're going to connect you in as soon as somebody else is gone, and we can set that up now. And then let's say I've got 8 clients and 1 is waiting. As soon as I disconnect one, because let's say we're done with it, boom, another one's going to pop in. Now the only thing about that is we have to be careful. What happens when I tell this computer to reboot, but I want it to come back because I'm not done with it? If it disconnects and another client connects in, then we're going to have a problem. So I'm not actually going to have, I don't think I'm going to have that option in there. Or if I am, I'm going to need something that basically tells the program, if I tell this computer to reboot from something and I'm still working on it, don't release this number. This number is still locked to this client. So you're going to have to figure that out, because that's definitely going to be important. Because it would be very frustrating. I'm working on this, oh, reboot from Windows updates, it comes back and it pops itself into 7. Okay, what computer was that again? Yeah, that's definitely not going to work. So I think we're going to have to do something there and make it so that they can reconnect back to their preferred number and come up with a way to deal with conflicts. So I guess that is about it for now. Yeah, going to work on those little bugs, and I think the next step I'm actually going to work on is reconnecting to the same number if it's available. and how we're going to handle that. I think that's kind of the next step for this application, and kind of go from there. So hope you enjoyed watching this, and yeah, thanks. Goodbye. Oh, and I guess we'll show you what. So exit does the same thing as that exit application, and we'll just show you what it does. So exit application, and again, same thing as this button here, no different. Well, we're just gonna do it from here because just because. So boom, there's a kid holding a giant pole. All right, thanks for watching.